Hello guys, and today I'm going to be making a quick guide on how to scout in World of Tanks Blitz. So let's get into it. So scouting in its most basic nature is marking targets so other players on your team know what flanking procedures they need, what lines need help, whether to defend the base or not, whether to go down a specific path, etc. Now, being a scout, depending on your skill level, can effectively remove a tank from your team, or it can make a tank that'll make the game. Any tank can truly be a scout. Scout tanks is not a class. It's a thing that you do. But the best scout tanks, and the most fun, are usually the faster tanks, with good acceleration and good turning. So, my personal scout tank is a BT7, tier 3, ridiculously fast tank. I like it better than the A20. A20 has the speed, just not the power to weight ratio. So that's why I like the BT7 better. If you take a look at stats, it has a 480 horsepower engine, or actually a 500 horsepower engine, and it is very, very quick. The tank weighs nearly 15 tons, or 14 tons, so 14 times 500. That's a really, really good power to weight ratio. So it's a very fast tank. I really like it. It's a very fast tank. The gun, pretty decent. Low damage, very low damage, but high rate of fire. For equipment, I run vents, camera net, and enhanced Chrissy suspension for more hit points to the track. It's a weak tank, but its defense isn't your armor. It's the sheer speed. The sheer speed that you can zip around the map. And I find BT7s are very common in troll platoons. Basically, they'll just find a bunch of hills and damage themselves until they die. It's not too common, but it does happen more often than other tanks. You're not gonna go do that in a T-29. For consumables, I run a fire extinguisher, engine boost, and a multi-purpose restoration kit simply because it has another fire extinguisher. Fires happen often, and I would get a cyclone filter if it wasn't a waste of a slot. Yes, it catches on fire a bunch, but if it catches on fire, you're dead regardless. So I'd rather have either the stealth or the extra hit points to the tracks, because if you get tracked, you're dead. So it's helpful. Ammunition, don't even care. Maybe something like that, just so you have some. Jacking people, not too necessary. If you're carouseling, can be helpful, but for the most part, you're going to be faster than the other tanks you encounter. That's really about it. Cruise 100%, everything's 100%. When you first get the tank, first thing you probably want to do, get the second engine, and you'll have the speed. Because if you notice, the maneuverability goes down by 3% with the top engine for less chance of fire. I do not find it worth it. So I run the most horsepower engine for the most speed. Because once again, if you're caught on fire, you're dead regardless. So, yeah. As for upgrades, when you first start the tank, get the engine, the turret, and then the gun, and then the tracks. The tracks, I tried two more, so yeah, I'd recommend that upgrade path. The flat gun or the automatic, it's okay. You start with this gun, you can get the flat gun. If you haven't experienced to get the flat gun and you'd rather have it, get it by all means, and then grind your way to this. Is this 19? I find it to be a pretty decent gun. Penetration, it's okay, I mean, it works. But for the most part, you'll be flanking and on the sides and scouting. So, there's that. So that was a mini review of the BT-7. What I think is the best tank for scouting. But remember, there's not a scout type. You just scout. So that was a mini review of the BT-7, and let's get into how to scout. So, like I said earlier, scouting can either make or break your team. If you have a good scout, then that could really, really make your team. They can attack from the flanks and behinds and draw fire off the bigger guys. They can just be very useful, or is absolutely useless. I mean, on some maps they're useless, on some maps they're useful, but all depends on how you play. If you're a passive scout, which I'll explain later, if you're a passive scout, you'll probably want camo net, vents, and binocs. If you're a run and gun like me, just in case you have to stop a camo net, Christie suspension, and improve vents. So let's get into a couple matches and we'll show you the different scouting styles. So here on Middleburg, not the best map for scouting. So we are bottom tier, but top tier is not that bad. So up here, we know where they're going to be. They're going to be in that straight line. But in the city, we do not know where they are. So that's why I'm heading to the city. And no one is going to the city. I'm calling for help here because I'm literally the only one headed to the city. Which does, when you're scouting, if no one's willing to shoot at who you're scouting, what's the point of scouting? What I see the point here is to show our team that there is bad stuff back on this side. Ooh. So, those are some pretty quick tank destroyers. Does not compare to the BT-7. I can outrun them all day long. So now they are aware of the threat on the flank, and I have dealt a little damage. Flanking. Useful. So I'm just loading some lead into him. Low alpha. It is kind of a hard tank to master. So I nearly killed the T-28, which could gravely help our team, or could have done nothing. So we're going to check out this T-28, not knowing what he's doing. T-28's a weak tank. It's pretty quick and has a very good gun though. So the last guy on our team is this Hetzer. It is a 1v4 situation. Trading alpha tier for tier is not a good idea. And he is trying to eliminate guns. So now it's 2v1. But it's... yeah, he's going to die if he keeps playing this aggressive. Yep. So there's that scouting method. I alerted our team of the danger on the flanks.